you guys have another one which you would prefer, we can also do that.
Hey, you play like 2 maps with it. So you play
Yeah, the last two.
Nepal. I'm gonna
Route
go to Nepal.
Route 66 and Anubis.
Oh, Route.
I mean, we can do Route 66. There was a lot of good things and not so good things in both of them. So okay, then we do Route 66. 1 second. Can you guys say something? Okay, weird. I don't hear you on stream. Say something again.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, hello.
Okay.
Hello?
Now you're in the recording. Good.
Hello, mom. I'm on TV.
No, you're not live. You're just in the recording. But yeah,
And like,
unlucky. Okay, I'm gonna.
Just
Put
say
my
that when
mom
he's
in
saying
the
something
recording.
funny, you can't flip it out.
Okay, I'm gonna check out Route 66. Career replays. Oh yeah, it only shows my replays. Hello, coaching.
Yeah, it's in coaching.
yeah.
There. Ah, I couldn't find the channel for a second. Route 66. And again, like Pi did, if I'm too harsh on anyone, just say so. I'm not doing it to be malicious. I'm just saying it because I see mistakes that are fixable, and yes, I want you guys to improve.
Wait, how do we see what you're streaming? I mean, you're recording. What?
No, I'm gonna stream via Discord.
Yeah.
Stop the payload.
Oh, that's why my aim is so fucked on this account.
Mobility increased.
Because my sensitivity is on 3.2 instead of 3. Interesting.
I'm on 15 cents. Let's go.
DPI?
I'm playing on 1600 DPI, so pretty low actually. I have a real chonker of a mousepad.
Yeah, I have a super small pad, so I have
What's your
to-
DPI total?
I also have a small mousepad.
Actually, good question. I don't even know.
Oh no. 15? But I mean,
I'm at 2.2 sensitivity with 2500 DPI.
jeez.
That's a
2500.
bit. No, that's a bit higher than I am. It's fine. As long as you don't get
Yeah.
pixel skipping, you're good. Okay, I'm just gonna share you my whole screen because that way you can also see the epic pen. If I can actually see the fucking epic pen, yes I can.
It's in the middle of the screen.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Yeah, it's just doing weird shit. Okay. Can I please get a mouse cursor? Okay.
Nemi.
So we're starting off. We are starting off on defense. Yeah, right,
Stop
on defense.
The payload.
It's okay. Our hands are ringing them. We're retreating fast. Good, because if they had a widow, you might have been dead. So, what do you guys think are the win conditions here? So, you correctly identified their win conditions, right? They're engaging by creating opportunities for picks by slamming and anti-nading people or with pulse bombs. But what do you think your win conditions are here?
It's probably Discord and then focusing it down.
That's
Yeah,
one of them,
I'd say
yes.
the same. Yeah. I don't. I don't know. Besides that, Pawns are getting picks.
Yes, exactly. That's random picks from Hanzo. And if they overextend, you have an echo to punish them.
The beam.
especially in combination with the Discord orb. Your tanks are basically just here to control this space and keep the card from going forward at this point.
Mhm.
So on defense, you're playing the long game. You gotta be patient. You wait for them to make a mistake because your position innately should be slightly better than theirs.
Mobility increased.
Nice sleep from the Ana.
That was actually a very long snipe.
So you see how they're trying to get an angle, right? Ana's trying to get an angle. You weren't scouting her out. You were saying that Ana could be flanking, but you could have seen her. Ball was coming from here. Tracer also always went from over here via the tunnel. She did this all game. And so if you have Hansa, you can... With Hansa, you can keep these tunnels lit up, right? You can put a arrow right here, and you're gonna see each and every flanker on this route. You can have one of the supports look out for this side or the tanks. That way you cover the flanks and you don't get surprised. And for now, yeah, the map basically only starts after they reach around this point. Like, this area is where the card is gonna be when you fight. Everything else before that would just be too early. Nice, the Genji got greedy. This would have been the point where you could have dropped and just finished them off. This would have been clean-up phase. They recognize this and retreat. And now... This is dangerous as DPS pushing so far forward without your team. It's fine staying on the high ground. It's fine to pushing forward. I would have pushed forward when we got the picks. Just something to always think about. Do they have something that can kill me quickly? If so, pushing forward alone, especially as a squishy, is dangerous.
Yep.
And yeah, by saying that, we missed that. So let's see. Here, scouting. We weren't seeing the ball, and
Yeah.
he's gonna grapple
I
up.
think I saw that one. The ball there.
Yeah, you even reacted. Nice. Good save here with the immortality field. Just unlucky that he could do the swing up here. So
Yeah.
that also shows you in the normal scrims you don't really expect this, right? Because people don't play ball to a mechanical degree where they can freely grapple up everywhere where they want to. But once they can do, you gotta think about things like this. With ball, he can come from anywhere at any time, basically. So ball should be at every on especially the supports' minds all the time. And you evened it out. Now your priority would be to deter the flankers from getting your Zenyatta. Which is nice, right? You're keeping him inside your whole team. This is what I liked. Later into the game, you were leaving him more alone, which made him more of a liability. Because if he's alone and no one protects him, he's easy to kill. But right here, this is how I actually want it to be. If Ryan needs to protect the Zen here, he can just push right click. Or just take a step forward. It's basically perfect. This is what I mean by your team gives you safety. Right? Who are they gonna hit? Your supports? Or one of the big hunker chunks that's in between there. The hitbox of the tank just overlaps yours. And that way you don't take damage. That was unlucky. But now you're 2 people up. And you could have just dropped on point and killed the supports.
Defense matrix activated.
وريهم قوتك.
Yeah. So let's see that again. How do you think they did the reverse sweep? So right now you're 1 up, right? They're missing a tank and a DPS. You're missing your Zen, but he's not your main heals. It's fine. This diva should be dead. If everyone was shooting the diva, she would be dead. Because, let's check.
Yeah, for that we need
He-
shot calling, like a proper shot caller to
Yes.
point it out.
So what I was thinking last week, I thought maybe it's a bit much to at the start introduce all these roles. And I think over the next couple scrims, depending on how we see, yeah, the need for it rise up, I think we should first install a proper not shot caller, target caller and shot caller. There's a difference. Do you know the difference? Whoops.
What's the difference?
So the
Shot
shot
caller makes plans, target caller calls targets.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Ah,
So the shot caller is the one that says, we're 2 up, we're going in, or the shot caller is the one that says on Anubis, hey, we're gonna go left side up into the room with the mega. We're gonna wait for the anti-nade to come through and then we engage. Things like that. That's the shot caller. Right? The shot caller is also the one that after every fight asks what ults do they have. And then normally the ult tracker would answer. Because that's an important information for the next plans. The target caller would be the one that has a bit of an overview over the fight, which in your case should be Zen. If you're running a Zen, Zen is target caller. Afterwards, it can be the off tank or the main tank. Normally, I think the off tank has a bit more overview and a bit more awareness, since the main tank often is just occupied with face tanking, which is quite mentally draining actually, especially if they have a Rhine. Alternatively, supports like Lucio also make good target callers. And overall, the DPS should not really target call, except for if the alternative target callers like the off tank and the Zen or the Lucio are dead, since they are the ones that need to take the space that the tanks create and set up the opportunity to focus a target from different angles, so that even if they try to protect it, they cannot protect it from all sides, right? So you take the opportunities, and the shot caller makes you aware, makes the plan, and the target caller makes you aware of the opportunity, and that's how you realize them. So
Yeah, one thing though. Sorry,
yes,
what do you want to say? I think we should start with the shot caller, target caller, like already trying people to
yes,
try it out. Because I feel like I'm DPS and I think I keep calming everything. And it's stupid because I think that's why we get separated, because I'm calming everything and it's separates us a lot, I think.
yes,
So we should have more rules.
yeah. So since it's recorded in here, Pi is also gonna see this. I think you should have a order of target caller. Right, shot calling you do before the fight, so the plan is made before the fight. So even if the shot caller dies, it's fine. There's still a plan, and if you need to improvise, you can still communicate that. Target caller is more important. So what you need is, of course, it needs to be clear who's target calling, and everyone is listening to that. And then secondly, if the target caller dies, it needs to be communicated, target caller died, and the next one immediately takes over.
Would it be faster for when target call dies, you just say second and then the second target caller?
You
So
could, if that works
the-
for you, that's fine. In my team, it just always worked because we recognized the voice of Azen, and he said, "I'm dead," and then I took over. But in the end, if it works for you, I'm not the one that is gonna criticize if it works. Right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking it would be easier.
I think you can try both. I think you can and should try both. So maybe even start with doing the second phrase beforehand, because it just raises awareness until you're all at the point where you can just differentiate each other's voices and roles through the chaos of comms. And so for so long, I think we should actually start with talking second. Okay. Back to the example here, how they got to reverse sweep you here. So I'm gonna turn it down a little bit.
Taking off.
Right? So what is happening here?
Defense matrix activated.
وريهم قوتك.
We are not prioritizing targets. Or like, not focusing.
Yes. Plus, you were too passive. So you're not prioritizing targets, and after your Zen died, you were super careful and passive, even though you had the advantage here. So you even were 3 people up until they rest the Genji. Let's see, where did they rest the Genji actually? Okay. I don't see where they rest the Genji, but
What the fuck is that?
what the heck? I guess over there that looks like they're
Actually bugged.
yeah,
Okay.
over there. Yes. Okay. Okay, there was when there's in that. So here again, you split. You have 2 front lines. So yeah, it all starts with being split. But what they were doing is with the D.Va was seeing that you're thinking about dropping, and so she pushed into you guys, hoping that you would not drop, focus on her, and get away because you were split. Because she can just go up, drop down, be here. She's safe. She can grab Mega. If you don't drop behind after her, she's fine. And she knows there's a Mercy to heal her up fast. So what you're gonna see is, okay, you have the advantage. You could have pushed here right into the Genji and killed him. He's at 72%, and they have the nano. So they're waiting for Genji to get his blade. That's the win condition here. And D.Va's like, shit, we need time. I'm gonna distract them. She just bought them like 6 seconds and 10% ult charge, and now they have nano. From 92 to full nano. They're gonna nano the Genji, he's gonna poke the tanks, and then their nano blade.
Defense matrix activated.
وريهم قوتك.
See? So the lesson here is be more proactive as a team. And if they do something like trying to actually keep you from touching the point, by just sending one person, punish that. If you're 5 people and they send one person to distract you, punish that. Kill the person. Kill it quick. You might even leave Baby D.Va so that you can kill her later in the fight. So she doesn't build A. She builds slower ult charge on her bomb. And B. She can just die by basically anything and get staggered super easily. And if she remax after she's the last one to still be alive, you get at least 1 ult for free. So here about the Genji Blade, you couldn't have done anything about it because you got the counter ults just about as they were blading, so that's fine. This was just purely due to being split and proactive, and them just being abusive about it. There's nothing more to be said about it. It's not bad. It just that's the difference in experience for the teams. It's just something that I want to point out, because if you think about this during a game, you start doing this yourself and you start recognizing this yourself, and that's the part where I want to get you guys to. Yes, you wanted to say something. What the?
Jesus, man, what? That's a. What the fuck?
Genji has a tail confirmed.
Genetical deformity.
Actually built differently, dude. What the fuck is that?
Okay, so where do we play here on second point?
On second point, right. So, second point. Let's identify points where fights can take place, right? So we have choke number 1. This door 1.2-ish. This whole area is 1 choke, to be fair. Then this is natural cover, this is natural cover, this is natural cover, this is natural cover. This whole bridge is pretty nice place for DPS because you can go up, down, you can have a shield here. So I would take the fight with the tanks in this general area. Like, maybe extend it over here. Because you can have the DPS in a pincer up here. If you know they're pushing here, you can have a DPS up here, shooting these sidelines, and one here, or even up here. You can have Hanzo here and then peek up and down and shoot into them, just to annoy them, or just from over here. Zen can play over here, because from here, he has high ground, he can shoot into their team, discord everyone, and if he gets attacked, he can just drop into your team. That will be right about here. Same goes for Baptiste. Baptiste can play here, here. Better play here, because then you have natural cover in form of this rock, and you can drop more easily. You could even play here. Here you're completely safe. If they don't come from the flank, which in this case, Tracer might do, which you gotta be aware about. Apart from that, you can be safe. So in general, this area is where you want to play. You have a lot of high grounds and natural cover to play around with. And if you play here, the card is gonna be stopped somewhere around here. Which gives you even more cover, because this huge area is where normally a Kree or a Hanzo on their side, or even a Widow, would play if they're not peeking from the side here. So if you keep this side occupied and you have the card over here, you close so many sidelines that if you play close combat, you have an enormous advantage. So yeah, right now, I would probably reset because they're too fast. Hanzo's gonna die, and I believe Zen is gonna die somewhere over here because they're staggering him. So as Hanzo, I would probably just jump onto the... Yeah, I would probably just jump on the point. For you, Zen, the moment you saw that Genji blade, I think you were like somewhere over here. That's the moment where you just do a 180 and you turn back. You go back to spawn in the hope of not dying. Like, you can try to reset, but like fleeing is best in that situation. Any other questions before we move to the next phase?
No.
Um, I have a headache, my medicine is starting to wear off, and I'm having trouble focusing on anything you're saying. So I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to go.
Dude, no worries. We're recording this, so you can watch it
alright.
back. Health goes first, man. Health goes first.
Seriously.
Have a good night's sleep,
See
dude.
you.
Alright. So, apart from medical emergencies, you guys want to continue?
Let's go.
Alright.
The payload has reached the
Okay.
checkpoint.
Yes, yes. Answer is... Yeah, good, dead, and now ball goes for this. Actually, nice job getting the ball.
Yeah.
Okay. So because they got a very late fight last round, they might get the card actually to over here before you guys are able to engage, which is still fine, but that means that you will have to fight around this area, which denies cover on the high grounds from your DPS. That's why you always try to, right, force the fight in this corner that is now circled. Because if you fight here and you get wiped, then you're gonna have a late fight here if they take space, which they are doing right here. Gold team might not take space, then it doesn't matter. But ideally, if you're the attackers, also I want to see you have, like they do, one person on card and then take this space, because it's just so much more advantage to control these areas. Yeah, and here is where we need more communication between your tanks. This should not happen. You're so far apart from each other. Both is valid, and yeah, as I said, I don't want to be too harsh on Pi. I think here that the Hanzo should contest these areas here if the Trace is gonna play here, because right now, right, with your sidelines, you're not gonna hit the ball. You cannot spam the Rana and keep her behind the payload. And the D.Va can just eat your arrows, so you can just suppress them from taking this space again and having a Tracer poke you in the back once you fight down on the low ground. So that the tanks can focus on playing together, forming a front line. McCree is important here on the front line because the stun is just good to combo with Ryan's abilities overall. Right? In this case, it's less important because they don't have a Ryan of themselves. But you can, for example, flash under a D.Va matrix, and that way you can finish off the D.Va faster with a fire strike. Things like that. Or people that try to pressure your tanks, you can stun them and give them some breathing room. Good bubble actually here, because they would have engaged.
Time to raise my APM.
But then they saw Yazen was alone, and they pushed him. You saw what they did there? They sent a D.Va to They sent the D.Va to push him into the wall,
Time to raise my
so he couldn't drop down. See? And then the Genji engages and finishes him off. So that's why you gotta always have an eye out for Yazen.
Yeah.
You should have played more to the back here. Played maybe here with your Hanzo. Then D.Va would have been more careful about engaging that. And that way, you can always fall back behind your Hanzo. Yes, he's a squishy, but he can tank a little bit for you. And you can drop through this hole. You can drop back here. And of course, if it works, you can go there. It's just, this was just a little bit too open. They saw it and they went for it. So
Yeah.
always keep in mind, how far does a Genji dash go? How far does 1, 2, 3 blinks go, or a D.Va booster? Am I in range of that? And if so, you want to look for a way out. Always have an escape route. But this fight is still winnable. You traded Zen for their ball, but you have the stronger front line, so you can sustain this. Let's see what happens. I think you actually pushed him back here. Good target focus. Not completely 100% focus, but still good that you got.
I still don't get how I got bombed there.
Show them.
That's so weird.
Me neither.
I was confused in a moment there too.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently your legs blew up.
that's not supposed to happen, I think.
When is Baptiste gonna spawn in?
Oh,
I was behind there.
did you look a little bit too much to the right? Maybe like curved around. 'Cause maybe
The payload?
it won't get underneath the payload.
I think you went over here, didn't you?
Yeah. No, wait. No, not yet.
Yeah.
It's a little bit to the right. That's why
Just one
the
pixel
curve
lead
mechanics in the
and
game.
Yeah, that's bullshit, but it probably bumped you below this fucking gap.
Yeah. It's
You have, because of this, you have line of sight to the bump. Yeah, it has line of sight to your legs, and that's why you die.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All systems checked out.
maybe you could have been behind push there, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I should have been behind push.
This would have been a situation where it would have been best to after Baptiste died. Just stick with the card. Now you're backing up.
Now show them.
And now you see, okay, you're low, you have no healing. Just everyone feed on 2 point. You're gonna feed anyway. They're gonna finish you up, so they're gonna get that ult charge. So if you know it's unavoidable, feed on card, because if you stall progress of the card, you might get a second or third fight, which you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Because now, while finishing you up, they got all this distance, and there's no way you're gonna stop this. Because, see, there's two people coming back. They cannot do anything to hold the card. So basically, that won them the fight. It might have been that you couldn't even have stopped it if you just died on card here, but there would have been a chance that maybe with a Zen ult you may have made it in time for the rest of the team to then come also in there. Just kind of think about when it's more advantageous to just go to card and stall. It's the same as with dying on point to keep percentage of control
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
during control maps. It's the same principle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the Masters player is playing ball. I don't know why I kept forgetting I wanted to see that, but yeah. Their
And I
ball
wanted
was...
to ask when I should be using my amplification matrix, because I'm not really sure when I'm using it, and now I'm holding onto it too much, I feel like.
Okay, so prime examples for amplification matrix. Of course, you can use it to amplify a fire strike into just if they have to push through a tight choke. Good thing. A fire strike through an amplification matrix kills any squishy. There is no bots and anything. It just kills the squishies and gives Ryan insane amounts of ult charge. You can of course use it in front of a graph if you miss a second ultimate to combo with that. You can use a Fire Strike, McCree shots, Hansa Storm arrows, junk, whatever. Just focus fire in general to then still wipe everyone in a graph. If people are low and you're playing more to the back, you can use it to for yourself to amplify your healing and basically become a buffed up Mercy Valk if they're playing closely together. Those are examples when to place Matrix. Overall, if your healing output is high, which okay, in this round it's not that, actually it's on par with the Ana, so it's fine. It's a pretty fast charging ult, so I wouldn't use it off cooldown, but it's fine if you think that it gives you an edge in a fight, for example, to stabilize after you lost someone, or if you lost your second healer to compensate that healing. It's fine to use it for that purpose.
Okay.
Okay, so let's look at this engage. Yes, we killed D.Va. They're resing D.Va, so they're down the res. Yeah, they want to engage with Ball and Tracer again. You spotted the Tracer and you were already saying like, hey, where's the Ball? I really like that you have the McCree in the back protecting the supports, which is especially great against these.
I have a bad feeling I walk forward. Alright, let's see what happens.
So overall, how you take this engage is fine, and I like that you want to fight on this corner, because this corner is really great to hold.
Yeah,
This is
I
where you
remember
would
what we
always wanna
called here.
hold. Yeah.
Yep. I remember we called the Grab Dragon here.
Mhm.
Our main engage here was Grab Dragon, because we knew they had Nano Blade, so we wanted to get rid of the Genji first. And this is where we get split up because of mines. Yeah.
Yeah. Good kill there.
And mines, and we get split up here.
So
And I remember calling a bush and him to apply to get back. This is where we started calling.
Yeah. The first for shot calling, but you could have just dragoned here. But yeah, if you were shot calling and you could have said, grabbing supports indoor, then you could have known. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna yeet my dragon blindly into here, and you would have gotten at least the Ana, probably the Genji.
Yeah, this is what Arbog didn't see where the grab happened or hear it either.
Yes.
This is that situation.
Also, Storm Arrow is if your aim is fast enough, Storm Arrows are really great of clearing a safe path through mines, which doesn't cost you your whole Reinhardt shield. And since I saw that situation on Anubis during your last fight, and then they were mining you off, if you really need to get rid of their minefield, and their minefield is keeping you from winning a point or something like that, shatter the mines. They all die.
Yeah, I Death Blossom the mines once.
Also
Yeah, I
works.
just
Also
yeah.
works. Yeah, just a tiny bit too slow, but we can work on that. With these mines, since yeah, now I wouldn't do it because they're 6 people, right? They're not resetting. If you kill the enemy team and you have downtime between fights and there's still mines, even the squishies, though I would probably only advise the tanks to do it, because with squishies, if you get booped into another mine, it's game over. Take some damage from the mines. You cannot feed Ham and All Charge by taking damage from the mines, but who you do feed is your supports. If your supports don't have ult, or are close to an ult, and there's mines, take some damage. Do it.
Zarya can get charged, but it might be a waste of bubble.
If it's in
But
between fights, it's actually fine, though I'm not sure with the new reduced charge on
yeah.
Zarya. Now, if you can get 40 charge on a self bubble, it's probably worth it. This was not communicated. You were hunting for the Tracer here on your own. Here you could have just peppered the ball and you would have been forced to retreat. Because at the moment, you have not been using any cooldowns so far. The only thing you've used is Fire Strike. Good, Matrix is coming back, but they used rockets. They used dash, right? You see the dash animation. They used recall. You have such an advantage right now. You can push into them. Focus down the Diva. Ryan needs to block the anti-nade though. You have to watch out for when they use abilities, because if you don't use abilities and they use like half their offensive and defensive abilities, that's also a trigger for you to go in, because you have advantage. It's like having ult advantage, just a little bit more tiny. I like it. Great reaction here, though you gotta be aware that if the Genji is good, he can actually burst squishies through the trance.
Yeah,
But he's not.
to me. He did that to me.
Nope, you were antied.
Oh, okay.
This was also due to miscommunication, right? You were trying to zone them, which is the right thing to do, but then you have to say, Bush, I'm going to noon, shield me.
Yeah, just shield me, yeah.
Yeah, or just shield me.
Yeah. That's my bad.
Because now he was trying to do so, right? You see it clearly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait, shit! Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my bad.
And I think Pi actually tried to bubble you, but well, Bush was in the way. So yeah, that's unlucky. Good idea. We can work on the execution. So I like that the idea was there. Because in general, a well-protected High Noon can also zone out a Genji Blade completely. If you just put a High Noon behind the shield with, for example, a Immortality Field, or a bubble on cooldown, if the enemy team knows about what kind of advantage bubbles give you, and you have an external bubble and you have a High Noon, they're not gonna try to kill the McCree because they know you're just gonna bubble him. And that way, Genji is forced to stay back. So that's another way to counter a Blade. Nice, yeah. You were off on the flank, that's why you died here. And now they're disassembling you.
Definitely, like, the biggest thing here, I think, which we're learning is, like, thinking about these things which we don't normally think about. Cooldowns. Push in, they use these many cooldowns, or
That's why you
I
have...
don't know, it's just more thinking. That's what this helps with. More
Yeah.
thinking.
That's why I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. So
Yes.
I think that was also the biggest eye-opener for me. That's actually when I went from gold to diamond the first time, was when I actually got coaching and was starting to think about things like this. And then yeah, that's...
Mentally.
So let's see it. I think this End Matrix is actually Here good, because for contest. But yeah, here this is a bit. See, what you could have done is you could have waited like a second longer and place your amp matrix somewhere in here.
Hmm.
Because that way if you have your amp matrix here, right? Ball is toast. Diva is toast. They go to the high ground. They are toast. Anna peeks on the card. Hanzo just yeets a body shot over there, or you hit her in the head as Baptiste, or a fire strike. She's toast. You can even throw Moira orbs through there. They don't do more damage, but they unload their 300 HP of damage much faster.
Eventually,
Right here, right. You have this 10 ADP window, and yes, you can shoot them here, but it's just stupid of them to be in front of it. I bet Genji is just hoping for a fire strike he can deflect. But the effective area that you can use it to contest card is like this tiny thing of the whole 10 ADP window. It's fine. This is panic mode. Just something to keep in mind and think about.
Helden sterben nicht. Its destination.
Okay, yeah, Diva needs to die. Nice. Nice arrow. In the confusion.
That's a nice ass shot, man.
So let's see. You kill Diva?
My will.
I want to see if Bush has Fire Strike. No, he doesn't. Okay, that's unlucky. If you would have had Fire Strike, I would have wanted... basically, if you demake... No. If you demake Diva, you can Fire Strike this, and then right-click it with Zarya. Okay, she's not there, but if Zarya is there, right-click it with Zarya. Preferably here on the backside, because Diva's gonna pop from out of here. And what that does is, you kill Diva. You kill baby Diva immediately. In this case, you just have to swing into it.
Nerf this.
Because that way, you can kill her and then still block the bomb, right? Even if you just get one swing in on her for 80 damage, someone else might be able to finish her off, or one swing and a fire strike, and you still have plenty of time to block the bomb. Yes, bomb is scary, but you have to learn the interval, how long it takes to charge up. Once you do that, a whole new world opens up, and basically bombing like this for Diva becomes suicidal. Not all of the time, but potentially.
Suiting up. Stay down.
Area denied.
I'm back in the fight.
Okay, so now you're basically in an even fight, because yes, you're both two people up. They might be have a bit of advantage because the Mercy ult is up. What do you think you need to do to win this fight here?
Focus targets.
Yes, but which target in specifically? Which one is the most valuable here?
I heard like you should always focus ball last. Is that right?
Mercy.
In
Mercy
general,
would be most-
depending, yes, because ball is just such a pain in the ass to get.
Yes.
Overall, the rule is if you don't focus ball, don't shoot him at all.
Focus the Genji.
Yeah, Genji, squishy.
Genji is squishy.
Or
Else,
Mercy because res.
yes. Mercy, especially since now she's ulting, right? She's the one keeping them alive and damage boosting them all. So right now, I think your target priority should be Mercy number... Let's make it like Mercy number 1. Diva number 2, because you have a lot of abilities like Moira, Hanzo, Baptiste Ceiling. Okay, Zarya's right click, but she can just beam it. So Zarya and Diva are basically, okay, you have advantage over Diva. Diva can eat your right click and your graph. It's a nice interaction. But you have 3 people that get more value when she's dead. Or at least out of mech. So, yes, Mercy's ulting. And if you think you can kill her, but it's difficult to kill a flying Mercy, not gonna lie, then either kill Mercy or leave her be if you can't. And focus down the diva. Burst her through her ult, because if she's damage boosting and not healing her, you can kill the mech faster than she can switch back. And that way, you can then use healing orbs or damage orbs. You can use your storm arrows to burst down the Genji or the other tank. You can have nice Baptiste healing on point. Because overall, D.Va is a pretty hard counter to something like Moira. Moira's a good pick here because she's fast and she has high escapability. But she also she gets denied a lot of value from a D.Va on the enemy team. That's just something to keep in mind. A good D.Va will always have Matrix to eat your balls. That sounds wrong. But yeah, and you see how they are focusing, right? They're focusing the Zarya here. From 3 angles.
Yeah.
And then they go back. Hanzo.
Taking off. Routing power to forward shield.
Here we call out D.Va. I'm pretty sure all of us were just calling D.Va.
Yes. Lucky charge.
And
this
then we
is,
call Genji.
yes, this is where you start a target calling. And you're gonna win this fight. And the reason you're winning this is, as I told you, right? Now you got a bunch of people, these 3, that now get a lot more value. Because her Matrix is gone. You kill Genji, which is kind of the most effective DPS next. And afterwards you can just roll them.
Okay, so I'm gonna go now, so
Right, see
see you
you.
guys later.
No,
Bye.
see ya.
You can watch
Yeah.
the recording.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. Bye.
See ya, have a nice evening.
The power of destruction.
Mecha activated.
Yeah, and
Now show.
so I think this just makes was a pretty clear example of what I mean with what target's focus and short calling can do on both sides of the teams, and maybe a little introduction to target priorities, because right now I think just building overall a team structure is more important than the micromanaging of Overwatch. I just want you to be aware that these are decisions that are gonna become important at some point. But for now, really focus on playing together, focusing targets down, and the right callouts. And it doesn't need to be super organized. Have you ever heard like Houston Outlaws target calling? Yeah, basically that. It's it's their target caller starting to scream like that, and the confirmation that everyone is really gonna kill D.Va is that the other 5 people also start screaming D D D D D D D D. It works. If this style of communication works for you, do it. If you want it nice in a nice and orderly fashion, do that. Maybe try multiple styles out. Find your style as a team, and then improve on that. And I'll see what kind of style of communication you guys have and deal with it. Because in the end, if you're gonna learn faster in a different way, I'm just gonna try to match how you're playing best. So in the scrim tomorrow, I basically just want you to experiment a bit with who has which role in as in target caller, shot caller, and how you guys communicate targets and how well you focus that. That's the big point that I want you guys to focus on. And so yes, you're gonna eventually they're gonna disassemble that again, and now you are gonna go on attack. Oh yeah, which we took pretty long for. Holy shit, how long did we take? Okay. Okay, right, so remember we had the plan. Protect the Zen, tanks form a front line, and focus them once they engage onto your Zen.
Boosters engaged.
Okay, Genji was too fast, but now, see? D.Va went in to help Genji. Well, Genji still gets to escape, but Diva is basically dead. And now next, you're going onto Genji. And you're not killing him, but you're driving him away from your Baptiste. So this is a win, since you have spawn advantage. Yes, close back up to Pi. And now this is where you push the kite. So I really like this first part of the attack. But then they got to regroup. And hold you over here in this area. And again, they were using the same tactics with playing on and off high ground. Pushing onto you guys, stalling the kite. And yeah. Just keeping you busy with attacks coming from different angles. It's actually nice taking that space.
Oh yeah, here I wanted to stay on point, like in between tanks and support, just to watch for both of them. Like if tanks get pushed, I have stun. If they decide to go on the two supports on my right side, I have stun for them too. I can reach both sides. That's why I stick on point.
No, that's fine. It's also that I believe that Genji is actually the best player on their team. He was really damn good.
Yeah,
So it's unfortunate that he still got Yazen. Maybe there toss the Immo field. Like, yes, Immo field is a valuable cooldown, but if they're gonna get your Zen every time, it's more valuable to have Zen alive.
I was also thinking that, but my reaction were just too slow to toss it. Zen was already dead when I looked back.
Yeah. Okay, so now this fight is basically over because you're a 4v5. And Ball is fast, he's gonna come back fast. One thing to mention though is, Tracer used recall, so if you were more people, this would have been the moment to focus Tracer, because if she uses recall, most of the time, she's low on blinks, and she has no options for retreat. Hello?
Oh, you have to press F12. It doesn't work when you click on it anymore.
Yeah, okay, that's stupid because the problem... Okay, we're not gonna look at that because F12 starts the stream. And I don't want to stream to Twitch right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, just as a side note. This is a mistake on their part that they're not stalling the card earlier. But yeah, now it's over. Now it's just... Yeah. You get dismantled, and then Pi dies hopefully quickly. And you have to make a new plan.
That's the mistake. He got staggered by himself.
Yeah, but it could have happened to anyone. Like, he's trying to get away, right? He wants to preserve his charge, which I understand. Normally, if you can get someone out, leave your Rhine to die. Try to get the Zarya out, because he can lose charge, right? And if he stays alive and still has charge at the start of the next fight, that's more valuable than getting Rhine out, because Rhine actually is better off spawning anew because he gets more shield health back than just regenerating on average. So, things that you could have done against this comp, right? So, they have a ball. So, this path is off limits. Basically. You were always pushing through here, which can work, but works better with Lucio. What you could have done is gone here and pushed them off the high ground. Or go through tunnel. And then you're in the gas station. And then you can fight inside gas station. You have a mega pack. Well, they're on the high ground. They're not gonna contest card from high ground. In most situations. You can push card from within the door. Over here. And if they try to engage you, you have a ball and a Genji, etc. in a confined space, just as on Anubis in the little house. Right? You negate the advantages that they get from the speed of dive. Or from the split comp. Their mobility is their strength, and you take it away from them in here. Because, yeah, Ball has to weave through all kinds of obstacles, tiny doors, and Genji is also stuck in there. And your healing is much tighter, especially Baptiste's shift is super OP in there. And you split again because, again, this is part also due to you not having a real shot caller, right? Because you were making plans, but not everyone was on the same page. So that way Hanzo went off alone here. Ryan went in, you could say too early. You could say that the rest of the team is too late, but that leads to you being split. McCree, who's on peeling duty, is way off.
I walked off.
No, but
I was looking for the high note, yeah.
that's just due to everyone being on slightly different pages of the same plan.
Yeah.
So, if you keep an eye out for this, this will basically fix itself. And then they see it, they use it. And they use the same win condition again. Let's try here. If they wouldn't have rested, it would have even been worth it, just because you have that much of a spawn advantage. Good thing now is, if you kill something at the start of next round, they cannot res it. So I think the same thing's gonna happen again here. Yeah, because the Zen got picked off early. If you go on a flank like this, Hanzo, like this you survive, but communicate that, right? You say, I'm going left side tunnel, because if your tanks know that you're going here, they know that they have to push here to create a diversion over here. All eyes on here, so that you can get around and maybe headshot Diana, or just not be picked up by the other people of their team and be killed. So flanking is fine, but you need to communicate it so that your team can work around with it and create the space and diversion that you actually need to not die. With this, Ryan was kind of trying to peel, which is weird.
Here, we were going on high ground for high noon. I want to push them off high ground. Or like just do like I wanted to go a little bit to the left.
Okay,
and
so
high
that's
noon
why I
up
went
here.
back up there.
And we both die here. I don't know how that shield didn't shoot us. It's weird.
Oh, the bomb
I think
fell
we got
in.
stuck, maybe.
No, the bomb fell into you. I can show you.
Oh yeah, the shield. Yeah.
Oh, you're already dead here. Let's go to 25.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I wanted to high noon up here and maybe you could get the Ana. I feel like
Yeah, so basically the bomb dropped through this wall and then dropped right into your shield. You couldn't have done anything.
Nerf this.
The pain is coming.
See, it's through the shield.
Yeah,
It's through the shield.
almost. If we both do them, we're back.
Yeah, but you can know that you can like there was just a nice setup from them.
Yeah, I want to catch off Diana, but she has cover anyways. It wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, so that's also here. This is a really nice position for Ana and Baptiste because, yeah, you can walk behind these, so everyone that is fighting you from down here. Where's Diana? I don't know. I can shoot that. From here, she can walk behind the sign. I don't know. I can't shoot that. She can just yeet out a nade here and do full healing. You can just fall back to this corner. She can heal you. You can pull up to the high ground. She can full heal you. And even if you play here, right, she has this pole. She can go in between here. She can just come out, shoot you, come back, come out, shoot back. This is just a great position for supports in general up there. Yeah, you're emptied and this is clean up again. So let's see your last attack. Normally with last attacks, you can wait till 15 seconds even to engage. If you can make it all the way over here, you can even wait till 10. And you have Tracer to touch.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Cut off?
what?
Huh?
The what? Oh, I think... Was it C9?
No. Wait,
No.
I touched. Oh yeah, we grab here. Yes, we grab here because I was gonna touch, and I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I
It-
touched. I got
but-
slept here, and
Okay, then,
yeah,
then the VOD is broken at this point.
the wall broke.
Yeah.
No.
Happens.
Okay, after this, I say I'm touching, so Bush just stays back, and Pi looks for the grab. Pi grabs, and I touch. I get slept on point. I get killed, and then I think the clock ticks out. That's
Yeah.
all that happens.
So, yeah. But in the end, I think what came clear here for this VOD review is that I think the biggest things we're gonna work about, and I'm gonna repeat it again and again and again until you're mad at me for repeating it, but that's just so that it really gets into everyone's heads. Is so the breaking apart. You're starting off team fights most of the time really nice and organized. That's good. And then after a time, in the chaos of a team fight, if it drags on for too long, or you take on King of the Hill, if you have the point for too long, you split up too much because you stop looking at where your teammates are and where you're playing and what their positions are. So just take the time and look around where everyone is every so often. And then the biggest one, target focus. Those are the two really big ones, and in this scrim specifically, or if the enemy is playing a Divey comp and you're running a Zen Brawl comp, don't leave your Zen behind. Like, have your eyes peeled out for your own Zen, because they will come for him. Don't worry, they will come for him. If they don't, well, you discord them and then you steamroll them. It's basically, they either come for your Zen or they get steamrolled.
Yeah, I think most of this will just come with habit.
Yeah.
We learn, we keep practicing, and habit.
Yeah, Salto told me you're a pretty new team, so I think from the documents that I saw, you had like 5 or so scrims before I joined.
Like 5? I think a little bit less.
That's
Yeah,
the
less.
fourth one tonight.
Oh yeah, actually yes.
That's it.
And 5 of us were already in like a 5-stack team.
Hmm.
Everyone
yeah,
besides
so friends.
Rice. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so yeah, 13th, 18th, 20th, yeah. So, and for that, it really wasn't bad. Like, you're having a lot more synergy than a lot of people, than a lot of teams that I played in that were existent for half a year or so and that scrimmed 3 times a week. So, that's fine.
I mean, just off like right now, who would you think is the best shot? Who's the best person we should try to give shot caller role and like target caller role? Should we focus on that later?
Shot caller. So, who of you guys knows the most about the game? Because the shot caller normally is also the one that calls the comms.
Okay, so shot caller was the one who makes the plan, right?
Who makes the plan, and an extension of that, when I'm not there or when I step down from that role, is also the one that calls the comp that you're gonna run on a specific map, or maybe even the big switch, the big counter switches if necessary.
Yeah.
I
Out
think
of all us, yeah.
you already are doing that almost. Like you always try to make plans and talk before we engage. So I feel like you would be best suited
Yeah,
for that.
Jacob usually do that. But
Yeah.
for target colors,
Yeah.
Ice is actually
I have always been target caller in
Yeah.
my last team.
good at it.
Wait, can I say something?
Yeah.
Real quick?
Yeah.
Target calling, 100%. It has to be either Rice or Pi.
Mm-hmm.
100%. I always hear them screaming.
Yeah.
And then after that, Aardvark. Squid, I want you to talk more, man. I don't hear you say much. I only hear Rice.
Yeah.
support. It's fine. Besides that, I know I talk a lot, like planning wise, but I don't want to do it because I'm DPS, and I feel like because I'm in the middle of everything, and sometimes I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like, I don't keep the best picture of everybody. I don't know, like that. I think we should experiment with other people short calling and me talking less next scrims. So maybe Rice make sure. I mean, maybe Pi. I think the people who know the most about the game out of our team, or at least who talk about it the most, would be Rice, Pi, and then Aurora Bush. And I
I
don't hear
don't
Squid talk much, but I want Squid to talk more.
I don't know how experienced the rest of you are, but at least personally, I've been in teams for like the last 1.5 year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah.
Just a flex.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it makes me any better, but just I know some things.
Oh, that's right. No, like I said, I think you should be the target caller.
Yeah, I don't think it would be good for me to be two callers.
Yeah, of course.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And Morning, what do you think?
So I
Who should
think,
be what?
yeah, I think this you're already really trying to make plans beforehand, so that's really good. Because I also think that shot caller is one of the roles that is that DPS can really do, because ult tracking. So in my old team, I did the ult tracking as the off tank, but normally it can be the flex support, for example. It's just who has the best feeling for it, but most of the time it's either the off tank or the off support. And we had our main tank do the shot call, but in the end, if you have like a natural tendency to do it, we can try to see how it goes with that. And we can stay with me calling the comms for now, and you just calling the switches and just tweaking things, and then making plans in game. Because I think also at the start it's important that we specialize on one kind of comm. If you're really sick and tired of playing Brawl and you want to play something else, of course we can do that. But I think for the purpose of learning team play and focusing people, it's just easier if you play a comp that is naturally depending on being a deathball. So that's why I picked that. If you want to know the reason behind this, so I think it's fine. We can try with this being the shot caller for now, and we can try with Rice being the target caller, and then with either Rice or Pi.
Yeah. What about ult tracking?
I think with ult tracking, if you have someone that wants to do it, they should try to do it. In the end, everyone should track ults that are important for your character, right? If you play a Reinhardt, this goes for you, especially Bush. I know you're watching later. The one thing you should always track as Reinhardt, ult-wise, is the enemy Rein's shatter. Because you have to play an entirely different game of Overwatch, depending on whether the enemy Rein has shatter or not, or if you both have shatter or not. And so you always have to track ults that are important for you, right? If you're playing Genji, you have to know if they have beat or if they have transcendence or grab. If the enemies are as consistently grabbing you, things like that. So in the end, I think since we will have Pi do the target calling most of the time, if he wants to, he can do the ult tracking. Otherwise, I would see if maybe one of the supports can also do that. Maybe we can even have two people learn it, because if you have a ringer or something, ult tracking is a really important position. So and it takes a lot of practice to do. So in the end, everyone should learn to ult track a little bit, but there needs to be a person that has the overview. But I think for now, target caller and shot caller are the more important roles, and we can do a couple scrims with only those two positions. Because right now, you were trying to do ult tracking. You're not super accurate, but also not super far off. So we can maybe focus on the current problems, and then after we go through that phase, we can talk more about ult tracking, and then I'll also record your voice comms during the scrim, and then we can compare your calls to how you were doing with ult tracking and things like that. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah,
Yep,
it
sounds
does.
good.
That sounds good.
Okay. I hope I wasn't too chaotic today. Definitely less
Okay.
guff than the VOD that I uploaded at 1 AM after working.
Madman, dude. Actually, madman.
But just
Going to sleep
dedicated.
at 1 AM for doing a fucking VOD.
Yeah.
The worst part is I had early shift the next day, so I had to wake up at 5:30.
Ouch.
God.
It's fine. So thanks for the scrim today, and thanks for listening to my rambling.
Thanks for the coaching.
Yeah, definitely.
No problem.
Upload.
And yeah, then I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8, and then with Bush, I gotta see if I can talk to him tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that. I thought it was Sunday. I can tomorrow.